rise as warriors in the night. Steel hearts, unbreakable pride, marching on with freedom as our guide. Hear the roar of 1,000 strong. This is where the brave belong. The flag waves high above the flame. Every soul remembers the name. We stand for freedom, fight for the flame. In the land of glory we carve our name. No chains, no fear, just blood and might. We were born to battle, born to fight. We stand for freedom, the bold and true. This is our moment, red, white and blue. One ring, one chance, no retreat. History's written in every heartbeat. Legends rise, the weak fall back. We carry the dream on a thunderous track. Unbreakable will, unshaken ground. Our voices shake the heavens down. With every slam, with every cry, we shout our truth into the sky. We stand for freedom, fight for the flame. In the land of glory we carve our name. No chains, no fear, just blood and might. We were born to battle, born to fight. We stand for freedom, the bold and true. This is our moment, red, white and blue. Red, white and blue. Raise your fist, the time is now. Take the oath, make the vow. For the fallen, for the free, for every soul who dares to believe. We stand for freedom, now for that day. Heroes made in battleground. No chains, no fear, just blood and might. We were born to battle, born to fight. We stand for freedom, proud and loud. We fight for justice, heads unbowed. Yeah, we stand for freedom. We stand for freedom.
Stepping up the ring and onto the mic. Golden locks, throwing shades on tight. I rule the airwaves, I own the night. Crank up the volume, feel the heat. Down, turn up the dial, let me preach. Running this town with a steel cake smile. When the bell rings, I do it with style. I'm the lord of Saturday night. One hair thunder, taking the mic. Bodies tell the truth, no fear, no fight. Bow down, cause I rule tonight. I'm the lord of Saturday night. Blonde hair, thunder, taking the mic. Bodies tell the truth, no fear, no fright. Bow down, cause I rule tonight.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to RAWF Philadelphia Freedom 2025. It is like the 12th annual Philadelphia Freedom, live here from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. My co-host for the evening, the legendary luchador himself and taco vendor.
¡Hola, muchachos!
Ladies and gentlemen, he is the one and only Al Vacant. Good evening, Al Vacant. Good evening, Al Vacant.
I was like, I'm not that guy. It's not me. First of all, I just wanted to the correct term is taco entrepreneur.
Oh, I apologize. I apologize.
Fender makes it seem so crass.
Okay, well, okay, that's fair. That's fair. Vendor kind of insinuates state, things like state fair, county fair. I get it. I
Yeah,
get
I'm not a taco monger.
it.
That's my
Watch.
nephews.
Watch your language. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is RAWF Philadelphia Freedom. We've got a hell of a card, and as you can see, we're a little bit better set up tonight. So apologize for the technical difficulties the last couple of weeks, but I think we're going to get through this pretty good tonight. So, Philadelphia Freedom, let's go down the card. Let's start with the undercard. This from a Randolph Mortimer draw. Sent it to me. He was unable to be here tonight. And let's try this again. There we go. There we go. Maeve O'Hare. This one doesn't. Come on. Let's try this again. Make sure it loops. There we go. All right. All right. Maeve O'Hare versus Allie Knight. Knox Boogie versus Dr. Kent. Marquis Desaad versus Rick Nelson. Papa Shaker versus Killa Neptune. One match we know is over. DVT defeated Kenta. Money Sue versus Big Papa. Honey Thunder Apples versus Natalia Nitro. Tigress versus Starlight. The Cougar versus Wildfire. Stormtrooper of Death versus Undertaker. Joey A versus Mancunian Maniac. Spectacular versus Uber Vegan TPO. Black Lilith versus Olivia McGinnis. Strangleheart versus Mark Caliber. Billy Gunn versus Luzon Warrior Queen Falcon. Slashy versus Evan Deadly. The Minion versus the Razor. The Moose versus Crazy Serb. Ciro El Napolitano versus Dark Warrior. D's versus Agent of Hate. Aaron McFadden versus Hot Cheese. Redneck Avenger take on Magnets Michael. Sean Hitman Hurd takes on Sophia McFadden. Kitty Kabam takes on Damia. Scythe takes on Carnage King. Boney takes on Malice. Tad Beaglewolf Dennis versus the Crippler. Just JT versus Iceman Jer. Both is Jer Iceman Jer.
Yes, correct. I believe he's short for Jeremy.
Both of those, one of them a returnee to RAWF after several years. Another one, I think, first time in RAWF. And I've heard a lot of great things about Iceman Jer. He makes his debut tonight at Philadelphia Freedom. Psycho Girl takes on Roger the Pirate. Toxic Megatron Avenger takes on Angel Bitch. And Addiction takes on Andy Price. So that is the undercard. Let's see here. Next up, we've got the Block Party, hosted by Aaron McFadden. This is his third year hosting the Philadelphia Freedom Block Party. 15 million coins and 500 wrestler bucks to the winner. Aaron McFadden, Big Papa, Chris Cage, Size, The Cougar, Allie Knight, Extreme Enigma, Natalia Nitro, Joe Boo, Cara Deville, Miss Beautifatal, Papa Shaker, Simply the Best, Strangleheart, Wildfire, and Soul Reaper, the 16 that are participating in this block party. And
so I've been thinking about this since last night when we talked about it, and I think I now have a favorite. I think I'm ready to call a winner.
Are you now?
Yeah, I actually think it's going to be Psy.
Well, you can see that that's interesting that you say that because the quote unquote block party started earlier today and already two people have advanced to the quarterfinals. The Cougar defeated Cara Deville to move on, and your prediction here, Psy defeated Natalia Nitro to move on as well. So other matchup. First round matchups. You got Aaron.
That would have been really embarrassing if you had said she was already.
Wouldn't it have though? I was kind of. That's kind of why I went and looked. I'm like, that would be hilarious if. But anyways, Aaron McFadden taking on Big Papa. Wildfire taking on Enigma. Cougs will face the winner of Aaron McFadden, Big Papa. Psy will face the winner of Wildfire and Extreme Enigma. Then in the other end, you've got Chris Cage versus Joe Boo. You've got Strangleheart versus Allie Knight, Papa Shaker versus Miss Beautifatal, and Simply the Best versus Soul Reaper. I don't know. I'm not discrediting Psy in any way. I think it still could be Simply the Best, just because, almost based on just his first round matchup. To be honest with you.
I mean, Yeah, that's fair. But I don't know. My gut just said, you know what? I don't know why. I don't know why, but my gut is telling me Sai's going to pull this out.
We find out. Yeah, we find out tonight. All right. In other matchups, we've got
Personality.
the exploding barbed wire match between Ken Costa and the Crow Mark Caliber.
Got a little
Any
face paint.
Look at all that face paint. That's something else there, right? If it wasn't for the colors of the face paint, we wouldn't know the difference between the two of them, would we? At any rate, that should be a good matchup. Personally, I hear we may hear from Ken Costa tonight, and he can give us some more information on the background between these two. Then we've got a Fubar City street fight scheduled, and it will be the Soul Reaper versus his son. You say the name because I still can't. I'm gonna screw it up if I say it. What's the guy's name?
Hio del Segador.
Hio del Segador. Okay, I can say that. Hio del Segador. So we're still trying to figure out who the mother is. Yeah. Obviously, it's a Latino
Look,
from.
he clearly doesn't want to talk about his past.
Uh,
Let it go.
yeah, fair enough.
You
Fair
can't
enough.
tell me there aren't any women in your background that you'd rather not think about.
Exactly, but that is a Fubar City street fight. Although he's calling it a Philadelphia street fight. I got news for you. When there's a street fight in RAWF, it's almost always a Fubar City street fight. I don't care what city we're in.
I mean, I think Philadelphia would be okay with being called Fubar City for a night.
Yes, I they could, yeah, certainly. Then we've got that's the block party again. Let's go here.
Although I had a fan tell me that we needed to start a new title and call it the Gritty Street Fight.
The gritty street fight.
And it would be an orange belt with two big googly eyes on it.
So this just in, ladies and gentlemen, this match here that we're currently on the screen, the strong style match between the Immortal Griffith and Kenta, is already over. The Immortal Griffith apparently putting the beat down to Kenta this evening, and I was hoping I wouldn't say Kenta was going to beat him, but I would have thought he'd have put up a better fight. What were your thoughts on this match?
I mean, I actually thought it was a pretty decent fight. I don't think it was a one-way thing at all. I think, he showed that he's a striker and he can hold his own. I think the real problem that Kenta faced is that Kenta's finisher is similar, not the same. They modify it differently, but it is similar to one that Griffith uses. In fact, the one he used to end this fight, the concussion protocol. They're similar moves, and he had it set up a few times, and if he had landed any of those times, it probably would have been the fight. But because Griffith is familiar with the move, he was able to get out of it 3 times.
But at any rate, was not a good night for Kenta. He went 0-2 in his matches at Philadelphia Freedom. Not a good finish to the season. We'll see where he ends up in the top 25 when it's all said and done. If hopefully he still does, because I mean we still have several matches that we haven't scored yet. And then one that probably the most hyped match in RAWF history, or at least one of it as far as scenes go. Destroyer and Blake Bradley in their backyard brawl, and
why aren't neither of these people our multimedia champion?
Right? Yeah, exactly. And we could end up with a multimedia champion that it's not media friendly, if you will, if Sisalu is victorious tonight. But this match, definitely looking forward to it. The hype has been incredible between these two, but it will be a busy night for Blake Bradley. 4 different matches for him. This one is just kind of like the appetizer, but still. What are your thoughts on this matchup between Destroyer and Blake?
With no rules, I mean, she's going to shoot him. There's no rules. She likes to shoot people. He getting shot.
That is highly frowned on because even though there's technically no rules,
And
there's still laws, that prevent.
yes, and has it stopped her from shooting people in the ass before?
Well, no, but she ain't gonna. I don't know. Wow, don't give her any ideas she didn't already have. Just
I
in
do.
case. Uh, all right, so then let's get to the title matchups for this evening. For the Iron Fist Championship, you have Simply the Best defending against Blake Bradley. Simply the Best putting up quite a few coins in this one to anyone who can beat him for this championship. And as you said last night, you don't believe this is going to be, since these two are in the same stables in the same group, but you still think it's going to be an all drag out knockout fight.
I do. Yeah, I do.
So who do you think walks away with the Iron Fist Championship?
Oh God, I have no idea. I think it's going to be a hell of a fight.
Uh,
I I think it's going to be a very close fight, and I think I'm going to go with STB simply because he has champion's advantage, and I think it's going to be that close.
It is going to be a very close matchup. There's no doubt about it. STB, Blake Bradley, Iron Fist Championship, the White Lightning Championship on the line. These two, no strangers to each other. It is the unsettled Chris Cage defending that White Lightning Championship against Extreme Enigma. And yeah, this one is interesting to say the least. What are your thoughts?
I think it's going to be a good match. There's a lot of history here. There's a lot of animosity going both ways. At least in one way, there's some underlying respect, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't go the other way. I think, especially with these rules, right, with the match that we're having here, I don't see how Enigma pulls a win out over Cage. You're trying to take Sparky. He just goes above and beyond to defend Sparky.
I can't disagree. I can't disagree. Enigma, he's getting better, or they are getting better in their title matches. Certainly, he's progressed over the last year. But I think this is a situation that Chris Cage, this is one of those belts that he covets. So yeah, I will
You know
not.
how you get into an industry and there's always that one guy who seems to got your number?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the problem here.
I don't disagree.
Like
All right.
Sassy has Griffith's number.
And then also on the list of titles that Chris Cage covets is the Hatfield and McCoy Championship. And this one is being challenged by Denzel the Giant, who has
Oh my gosh,
returned.
you never show that picture again.
Denzel has returned with a vengeance here over the past few weeks and destroying Marquis Desaad in their number one contender match for this championship.
And that's his friend.
And Denzel has a history of taking titles from longtime holders. So this might be a bigger challenge than Chris Cage is ready for. Your thoughts?
I think if it was the only match Chris had all night, I think I would still go with Chris. Last night I leaned towards Chris, but the more I think about it, the more I'm starting to lean towards Denzel.
I do too. I do too. I know Chris Cage does covet that Hatfield and McCoy championship, but Denzel has shown he's out to make a statement very early in his return to RAWF, and he certainly could do that tonight. The Arcana Clash Championship on the line. Destroyer defending against the unsettled Chris Cage, and you can say these two know each other intimately.
Yeah, that's accurate.
So, with that being said, you said it was going to be a makeout session. I
right,
don't.
there's not going to be a match. They're just going to show up, and then we're going to, they're going to do their best rated R superstar impersonation, and we're going to get sued.
I don't think that's what's going to happen, because I'm pretty sure that while Destroyer may adore Chris Cage, I think she may also adore the Arcana Clash Championship. It's just not at maybe.
No, while it's going on, she'll be on top, so she'll get the pin.
Well, that's fair. So yeah, I can understand that, and plus, as we said, Chris Cage has a lot on his plate tonight.
He does. 3 title matches, And correct me if I'm wrong, 3 title matches back to back.
Yeah, well, something like that, yes. Then you've got the tag team championship, the champions Crown Control defending against the Godslayers. All betting money is on the Godslayers tonight. What do you? What are the odds that the champions retain tonight? Do you think?
Slim and none. And Slim is in the back trying to get video footage of the Hatfield and McCoy match.
Yeah. Uh, I mean, I can't disagree with that. The Godslayers are definitely a very cohesive team. It does harken back to the days of Apex when Griff was a dominant tag team champion as well. Uh, Although his partner these days is a lot better looking. No offense to Mr. Nightwalker.
Agreed.
Shout out to Mordrin.
She swears less too.
If she comes
No,
on,
a little, but less.
if she ever comes on here and asks what the fuck is up, we got a problem. I'm just saying. Yeah. Next up, the Estrogen Championship, one of Sai's many matches tonight. Defending the Estrogen Championship against one of the greatest Estrogen champions in RAWF history, a Hall of Famer, Davila. Where do you lean here?
Like I said last night, she's made me a believer. I've picked against Sai for several months now straight, and she's proven me wrong every goddamn time, so she's earned it. I'm going with Sai.
I'm not. I not on this one. I not on this one. I think Davila gets the Estrogen Championship once again tonight. That is my prediction on that one. All right, Champions Choice Championship. Aaron McFadden versus the Agent of Hate. I think we know where that one's going. We know the rules. They're one-sided. Aaron McFadden retains tonight.
Exceedingly.
Yeah, I think that one is a pretty easy choice. Next up for the Powerball Championship, Sassy Applebee's defends against Miss Beautifatal. And I also predict a retention here by Sassy Applebee's, but
Agreed.
don't count Miss B out. She has surprised us in the past, so
Absolutely. Just this last season of she was in the Radical Fighting Championship, and she had a slow start, but towards the end, she was firing on all cylinders. If she brings that fight to this match, Sassy's in for a rough night.
Agreed. Multimedia Championship. It is Sai defending against Sisulu. The quiet one, Sisulu. This is an interesting matchup. Sisulu went undefeated in the last rankings period, and in the rankings period that I mentioned last night, he was not in the top 25, but not due to his record, due to the fact that he doesn't talk at all. He had an 8-2 record as of last night's RAWF rankings. So it's not like he's not easy to beat in the ring. What are your thoughts here?
I think if Sai's going to lose a match tonight, this is the one most likely, because like you said, he's no slouch in the ring. I really want her to win, though, because we can't have a multimedia champion who's mute.
Yeah. I mean, this would be the worst multimedia champion, period.
I mean, at least Frank would grunt.
Yeah, absolutely. Uncle Frank would at least grunt or
Frank hold up a sign.
Yeah. Sisulu doesn't do any of that. He is pretty much keeps to himself, doesn't talk, and people have tried. We shall see. But then there's the Triple Crown Championship. It is Sai defending against Joe Boo and the unsettled Chris Cage. Personally, I think Sai retains this one just because Chris Cage is an ally in their stable. Joe Boo's going to have to beat both of them to win the championship, and I don't know if he's got it in him.
I agree. We're on the same page here.
No, and but then it all depends. Does Chris Cage want to help Sai retain the championship, or does he want it for himself?
I don't know.
There is that possibility. Midnight Hobo Championship. Ken Costa defends against Cara Deville. This one's a really tough call
It
because
is.
both of them have been very strong as of late. Both of them. This Ken actually keeps getting better and better every week, and so this is his first title defense of the Midnight Hobo Championship after beating Billy Gunn a couple weeks ago. I don't. I want to say he retains because I would hate to see him have such a short Midnight Hobo Championship reign. But Kara, I know, is extremely tough and extremely motivated.
Agreed on all points, but I'm just going to throw this out. I threw it out last night. I'm still sticking with this. If you look at the month they've each been having, Ken Costa is currently sitting in 7th, and Kara is currently sitting in 18th. And I think unless something drastically changes, that kind of momentum is going to carry Ken through. I said Kenta.
All right. Well, we shall see. The men's championship. It will be Blake Bradley in one of his many title matches, one of his many matches tonight, defending the men's championship against the hooligan god Michael Brewer. Brewer returned to wrestling just not too long ago, unretired, if you will, and got off to a slow start, but here he's starting to pick up some steam, winning the Arsehole of the Month tournament. He has even said to me personally, one of his goals now is to win a major title in RAWF, at least one, if not more. Is tonight the night he does it?
It is completely possible. I think this is going to be a hell of a match. I think there's still a little bit of ring rust on Michael Brewer, and I think Blake's going to take advantage of that.
We will see. Brewer's only got this one match to worry about tonight.
That's true, and Blake's got a little bit more on his plate.
Blake's got a little bit more on his plate, so that has to factor in. I'm predicting Michael Brewer will win the men's championship tonight here at Philadelphia Freedom. National championship, Simply the Best defends against Eva. Simply the Best, the longest reigning national champion in RAWF history, and he's working on getting close to being a year with that championship. Eva, of course, we know how tough she is. We know she's a former national championship champion in her own right, but I think I agree with you what you said last night. I think STB is going to retain this evening and carry on that national title to Tropical Aggression.
I haven't changed my opinion.
All right, so that is, but it still should be an excellent match. And then we have for the Fubar City Championship, the Immortal Griffith versus the Teflon Sheik. I mean, what more can we say about this match that we haven't already said? I think everybody in the world, I think most people, aside from maybe the folks in the Elevated Society, are pulling for the Immortal Griffith to keep that championship away.
I think half the people in the Elevated Society are pulling for Griffith.
Yeah, but Sheik has been more vocal since his return than he was. He's been more annoying, more vocal, more aggressive since returning to action in RAWF.
I thought he just was more desperate. That's how it came off to me.
I mean,
you ever been to one of those parties and there's that sorority girl in the back trying to make everything about her? What do they call it? The pick me girl? Yeah, that's kind of what I've been feeling.
I suppose that's pretty accurate. Will the Immortal Griffith should win this in a landslide, but we shall see. Then, of course, the Platinum Dragon Championship, ladies and gentlemen. It is DW defending the heart and soul of RAWF against Hotshot Chaz, and this is.
Doing, doing.
Is this Hotshot Chaz's night to finally get something? He is an RAWF Hall of Famer. He's won a few titles here and there, but nothing quite the caliber of Mark Caliber.
If he pulls this off, this will be the biggest thing he's ever done in RAWF.
Agreed. And
for the record, I think he will.
I hope so. Again, no offense to DW. DW certainly, but yeah, I think Chaz. I think this could be Chaz's night for the Platinum to finally grab a championship and be one of those top guys here in RAWF. And finally, in the main event for the World Heavyweight Championship, it is the Paragon of Greatness defending against Blake Bradley. Paragon and Blake. Uh, this is going to be interesting. I lean towards Paragon on this one just because Blake again has so much on his plate. But then again, when one of those things you have on your plate is for the World Heavyweight Championship, you kind of decide it's kind of the main course, and you know,
I would imagine his concentration is on this match.
yeah, I would think so. So, what are your thoughts here? Does we hear and still when it's all said and done, or do we have a first-time RAWF World Heavyweight Champion in the making tonight?
I am leaning towards and still, mostly because Blake has other matches tonight. That being said, I think if he's very careful in his other matches and he doesn't blow himself out, he doesn't get hurt, doesn't take any injuries, I would not be stunned if he walks out with this title. This guy's been chasing this for a while. It's not just about the money. It's not just about the prestige. It's about fuck you to everyone who's ever doubted me, right? Like that's like he has an emotional drive to win this title to prove something to everyone, and I think including himself. So I will not be stunned at all if he walks out with this title.
It will be a great main event to this year's Philadelphia Freedom. And it has been a great.
If you win this title, we'll never hear the goddamn end of it out of ES.
Well, you know what? When you win a world title, I expect to hear from you constantly.
Well, I know, yeah, but I'm not saying about him. We're going to hear from the rest of them too.
Well, so I mean that is the
I'm not
point.
saying it's inappropriate. I'm just saying I don't want to hear it.
Well, that's different. You may not like it, but they
won't even be. That'll make it worse that they're not even wrong for doing it.
Because a wise man once said, "You may not like it, but you are going to have to learn to love it if it happens." So, all right. With that being said, that is our rundown of tonight's Philadelphia Freedom card. It's been a hell of a weekend here in the City of Angels for 4th of July. Of course, Philadelphia is one of the biggest towns for 4th of July. Did you catch that firework display over the river the other night?
Absolutely. It's one of the primary reasons I love that we're here for the 4th. I mean, Philadelphia goes above and beyond every year with that display. It's always great. And last night was no exception.
Yeah, it was incredible. It was absolutely amazing.
And this year they didn't light anything on fire.
Right. And because Judgment had nothing to do with it, Billy Joel's house is safe for another year. Anyways, that is our rundown of Philadelphia Freedom. Coming to you live from Lincoln Financial Field tonight. Already had a few results. We already mentioned those, but we could talk a little bit about some of those undercard matches we looked at earlier. Hopefully that's big enough for everybody to see. But we've got Maeve O'Hare versus Allie Knight. That match was made last night. Papa Shaker versus Killer Neptune could be huge for the top 25, though, Vega.
Yes, that could have a lot of implications.
Yeah. As we know, DVT defeated Kenta, so DVT, who was ranked in the, I believe, 25th last night.
Correct.
That should help.
He's probably staying in.
Yeah, probably. Of course, there are other matchups.
Right. I mean, there's 3 other matches that aren't accounted for here.
Yeah, you get your redhead on redhead violence tonight when you see the First Lady of Anarchy, the Cougar, take on Wildfire. That also a matchup of 2 top 25 people from last night.
Excellent.
You've got Tigers taking on Starlight. That's going to be a good match. So yeah, there's some undercard matches to keep your eye on tonight, for certain. Some really good matchups in there, and hopefully we come out of Philadelphia Freedom and get that top 25 here in a couple of weeks and see who goes on to Tropical Aggression. Comes to you live August 31st, 2025 from Aloha Stadium in Honolulu, Hawaii. We're going to Hawaii here. Looking forward to that, Elvacan.
Always, I love Hawaii. I mean, I'm a little sad because Maeve's probably going to be completely bundled up in like fabric the entire time we're there, but
Well,
because she'll catch on fire.
well, I
But,
mean, maybe not. I mean, we were in Rio last year, and she wrestled in a bikini, if you remember correctly.
that's true. That is true. That did happen.
I don't think we're going to get that this year, but who knows? We will have it. We will speak with Maeve here later in
Also,
the program.
I know I didn't say that, but I think perhaps your poster is a little false advertising because I don't think the volcano is still flowing.
It's called it's called artistic. What do you call it? Artistic.
I mean, it was spewing lava for quite some time.
It's just fun. It's a fun picture. That's what I watched. By the way, speaking of that, let's listen to the theme song for Tropical Aggression, and you can watch the volcano shake and shimmy here. We'll be right back. This is RAWF Philadelphia Freedom.
And shimmy.
Oh, yes. Watch this. We will be back, ladies and gentlemen. Then we will talk to the likes of Kenta, Ken Costa, Maeve O'Hare, and some more with El Vacant as well. And who knows who else will show up. This is RAWF Philadelphia Freedom live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We'll be right back.
But the skies are dark. Drums of war beat with a thunderous spark. Waves crash loud on blood-soaked sand. The island cries, but she takes a stand. The sun still shines, but the winds are cruel. Whispers of vengeance in a tide-fed duel. Aloha fades where the warriors tread. Steel meets stone where the coconut's bled. The sun still shines, but the winds are cruel. Whispers of vengeance in a tide-fed duel. Aloha fades where the warriors tread. Steel meets stone where the coconut's bled. Tropical aggression, fury in the breeze. Fire in the flowers, death beneath the seas. Hula hips move, but the blades are drawn. This paradise fights from dusk till dawn. Tropical aggression, no retreat, no fear. Thunder rolls and the gods all hear the call to rise, to clash, to roar. Island rage from shore to shore. Surfboards broken like shattered bones. Torches light the sacred stones. Diamond head to the lava caves. Ghosts of kings rise from ocean graves. Sharks in the reef, eyes burning red. As chants awaken the ancient dead. No ukulele in this war-drum fight. Just molten hearts and fist of might. Tropical aggression, fury in the breeze. Fire in the flowers, death beneath the seas. Hula hips move, but the blades are drawn. This paradise fights from dusk till dawn. Tropical aggression, no retreat, no fear. Thunder rolls and the gods all hear the call to rise, to clash, to roar. Island rage from shore to shore. Canoes ride high on waves of wrath. Warriors carve a crimson path. Nature's beauty turned to flame. The jungle chants a battle's name. Hey, the volcano, hear us scream. This is no islander's peaceful dream. Tropical aggression, destiny's demand. Fight like the tides, take back the land. Shells are blown and spears take flight. Honor burns in the island night. Tropical aggression, the legend is alive. In the heart of the storm we thrive and survive. On sacred ground, beneath moonlight's glow. The battle ends, but the embers grow.
That's right. It comes to you live August 31st from Aloha Stadium in Honolulu. Elvation, you all right there?
I looked at it a little too long. I'm a little motion sick.
I don't blame it. But if, you have to admit that was pretty cool, though. That kind of looks almost like it's moving.
See,
Anyway, all right. So before we get to some callers, I did have a message last night from a Vokaroo last night from the one and only Hotshot Chaz, the challenger to the Platinum Dragon Championship. Was unable to play that, but I want to play it tonight. He did have a message for DW and the RAWF universe.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends and fellow dreamers, today I stand before you not just as your friendly neighborhood hotshot, but as a passionate believer in the power of relentless pursuit, resilience, and the unwavering spirit that lies within us all. As I prepare to step into the ring with DW at Philadelphia Freedom, I do so as the obvious underdog. But let me tell you something. Being an underdog is not a disadvantage. It is a platform. It is the opportunity to rise, to challenge the odds, and to prove that greatness is not reserved for the favored few, but it is earned by those who dare to dream big and fight harder. In life, we all face our obstacles. Those daunting walls that seem insurmountable. Those challenges that threaten to hold us back. But what defines us is how we respond to those challenges. Will we cower in fear, or will we rise to the occasion? Each one of us has a champion inside, waiting to break free. It's time to unleash that power. I want you to close your eyes for a moment and visualize your dreams. What is it that you want? What is that championship belt that you are striving for in your own life? It could be anything from overcoming a personal struggle or finally pursuing that passion that sets your soul on fire. But whatever it is, remember this. The path to greatness is paved with perseverance, grit, and the unwillingness to battle through adversity. As I step into that ring, my heart will race not just for myself, but for every single one of you who has ever felt like the underdog. I fight for those who have been told that they're not good enough, who have been underestimated, and who have faced stumbling blocks that seemed impossible to overcome. I fight for the dreamers, the doers, and the believers, because this is not just my fight. This is our fight. And I want you to take that underdog spirit and channel it into every fiber of your being. Embrace the struggle, because through struggle comes strength. If you can envision it, you can achieve it. If you can believe it, you can become it. So when the time comes for me to face DW tomorrow, it will not just be a battle for the title. It'll be a testament to all that we can accomplish when we refuse to be defined by our circumstances. So I urge you to take action. Go after what you want with everything you have. Train harder, learn more, and love fiercely. Be the hot shot in your own life. Stand tall in the face of adversity, and let your spirit shine brighter than your fears. Together, we can defeat the odds, one challenge at a time. In the arena of life, we're all champions waiting to be crowned. Let's go out there, unleash our potential, and achieve greatness together. Let's claim the heart and soul and defend it with pride from here on out. Let's go and do hotshot things.
Very inspirational message from Hotshot Chaz. What are your thoughts on what you heard there, Elvagan?
If you remember when we first talked about this match, one of the things I said is it depends on what hotshot shows up, right? And I said if it's the guy who won these other champions, who showed up believing in himself and motivated that he was going to win this belt. I feel like that answers that question.
I don't agree. So I'm sorry. I do agree. It does sound like he's very positive going into this match, and so hopefully that positivity carries him to a Platinum Dragon Championship. We find out. later tonight. All right, our first guest this evening defends the Midnight Hobo Championship against Cara DeVille and is also in a barbed wire death match with uh, the Crow Mark Caliber. Let's talk to the one and only.
Born in the shadows, raised in the pain, taught by the scars, baptized in the rain. They took my soul, left me hollow inside. Now there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Every scream they gave, every tear I bled, built the monster that they now dread. I'm the beast within, unleashed tonight. No mercy lives where there's no light. Run if you can, but you'll never win. There's no.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is Ken Costa, the Midnight Hobo Champion. Ken, are you there?
Lame question. I'm always there. I'm always here.
Well, that's true. You are always here. So how are you tonight, Ken? And how you feeling going into these two big matchups you've got tonight?
First of all, hello, boss. Hello, Bacon.
Oh, hi.
No, hi. With you, it's all amigo, just like you said. Give it to me. Wow.
I'm sorry, what? Okay.
He wants you to call him amigo.
Oh, yeah, hola, yeah, hola, amigo. ¿Cómo está?
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, do
There,
you
is that
know
better?
where was I before I come here tonight?
He is my amigo.
Oh, yeah.
Ken?
We
Yeah,
like
that.
this guy.
Well, do you know
Uh,
Do you know where was I before I even come here tonight?
Dirty
no.
Frank.
Well, I was in the Philadelphia Museum taking a picture at the Rocky Balboa statue. Wow, it was amazing to me. Right.
Really? So, oh, that it is a very iconic statue here in Philadelphia. So yeah. Did it inspire you in some way?
Actually, no, because Rocky was just a big liar. He just spent his whole life making speeches about passion, firm, blah blah blah. But in the end, he
Wait, did you just say bad things about Rocky while in Philadelphia? That's ballsy.
uh, no, because Rocky, he's no. Look, we can say that Rocky
Next, you're gonna make
is
fun
a
of me.
remarkable fighter. Yeah, he was like a damn great guy. He was a remarkable fighter, but he just put the wrong reason to his whole success. That's all.
All right. And so, what does this have to do with your matchups tonight? I mean, obviously, do you consider Mark Caliber to be Rocky Balboa esque, or uh, are you the one in the Rocky position when this exploding barbed wire match?
With all due respect to you, boss, and to you, Vacant, but I just see these questions are became like a boring routine to me. Like I just walk in, you just ask me about Mark and Kara, I will say the answers that I will beat them, and you will say thank you, Kenny, have a good night. Actually, not this time, boss, because if you want me to speak about Mark, I will beat the hell out of him. If you want to speak about Kara, actually, Uh, Out of 12 matches, I got 11 W. Ankara, she can beat me, and she will do me a favor because I will go to the next big level. I don't care if it's gonna be Platinum Dragon or maybe the big gold of them all, the World Heavyweight title. But anyway, we can ask something different. Ask me about why I can change. Ask me about my interaction with Kenta, with the Paragon, with Blake Bradley. Uh, I want to have a creative conversation this time. Can we?
All right, go for it. I'm listening.
So,
I think he wanted you to
it's
ask
been
a
a
creative
month.
question.
Ask him creative.
Okay, okay. Uh, Let me ask you something. For a whole month now, you see that Ken has become a rude asshole. Isn't it right, Vacant?
I mean, you've
Vacant.
been less jovial. I'll say that.
Oh, why? Because
He
you
said you.
love Ken,
He said
who
you.
just
You
come
he
here.
said he agreed with you. Yes. Can you?
Why? I- Is it just because you just love Ken, who just comes here,
What was that?
yell,
I have
scream in
no
your
idea.
faces, shows a passion, through the jokes with
I think he
you,
might be having some
and into
technical
his
issues.
I
Kenny, are
ain't
you
your
there?
friend because you're not mine, and it was the most stupid sing song I have ever done with. But anyway, actually, Ken is not a
Okay.
rude.
Did,
Did we lose him? There he is. He's back.
I am not done anyway. I'm not done. Anyway, anyway, Ken is not a rude guy. Ken is not a bad guy. Actually, Ken just became himself. For a long damn year, Blake Bradley was damn right because Ken, if he wants to be something, he must be himself, not just a fan to Maeve, to the Paragon, to anybody. And I'll be honest. I don't play games. What you see now from me is what you get. And
I mean, I think I've always been nice to you, but
all right. I think I get the gist of what you're saying here. You're saying you know you've got to be the best worst of you because you're in the big leagues now, and that there are nobody around here is going to be nice to you. So why should you be nice back? Correct? Is that what I was hearing? All right, I think we lost Ken. He has disappeared from the board, so I'm assuming Ken Costa having a bad connection there. But Ken sounds like sounds like his attitude is changing for the better. He has a point. If you're gonna survive in RAWF, you kind of have to dig in deep. So we'll see what happens when Ken Costa faces Mark Caliber in that exploding barbed wire match, and for the Midnight and Cara Deville for the Midnight Hobo Championship. Next up, though, ladies and gentlemen, a man who did not have a good Philadelphia Freedom, unfortunately, but we still will talk to the Golden Dragon. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
He walks in silence, storm in his veins, steel in his eyes, unchained by pain. Scars like metals, carved in flame. They whisper one word, they whisper his name. In every step, a battle cry, born to rise, never die. He strikes like thunder, breathes like flame. In the heat of the fight, he owns the game. He's a dragon in the ring, hear the fire roar. Every hit, every slam shakes the floor. And it's coming like a storm, untamed. No cage can hold what the fire claimed. Warrior soul, fists ignite. He's burning bright in the...
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Golden Dragon, Kenta, to the program. Good evening, Kenta.
Good evening, LA. Good evening, El Vicente. It's nice being back in the show.
Yes, well, and you got your music tonight, so that's a good thing.
Yes,
But
it is.
not a good thing for you in the win-loss column tonight at Philadelphia Freedom. It was a rough night. However, you definitely took it to the Immortal Griffith in that strong style match. Talk to me about what happened there.
I thought I had him, honestly. I was controlling the first part of that match. And then suddenly the immortal one just, I don't know. he, I guess like it's the experience. He dodged all my three big moves, as El Vicente said earlier. He dodged the Dragon Rush, my version of the Shining Wizard. But that's not my only finisher. But yeah, he dodged my big moves and he took the win after that. I guess that's what separates me from him, is the experience. I had him and then suddenly it got overturned and he won.
It is what it is, but still a hell of a match, a hell of a fight. You took the Immortal Griffith to the limit, um, but it but in the swing of things, it was 0-2 for you tonight. As you also lost your rankings match. Hopefully, that doesn't knock you out of the top 25 when it's all said and done. But what are your thoughts on what everything that's happened tonight?
Oh, the purpose of the strong style match was to rekindle my passion, my golden smile. For the past few weeks, I've been doubting myself. My self-confidence has been shaken, but now the Golden Dragon is jovial, is positive for things to come. And I was so positive for things to come that I rushed into the DVT match and lost quickly. So yeah, I should have not be too jovial with that. I should have just waited for a bit. But it is what it is. But yeah, again, I'm positive for things and I'm happy. I am having fun right now. I'm seeing things in a new light. after it's been a dark couple of weeks after losing to Blake Bradley, but I'm happy. I'm back to the headspace that I want. I have my self confidence. So yeah, things are looking up for me, even though this is the dark moment in my career, 2-0 in Philadelphia Freedom. But I'm happy.
Well, at least you're enjoying the nachos. I saw you out there munching on those. Uh, those they got some pretty good nachos around here. So at least
I
you're
mean,
in.
Kenta apparently is a pretty big fan of my trucks, from what I've been gathering.
Oh, I'm just a big fan of food. I'm a big foodie.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So Kenta, our next pay per view is Tropical Aggression. Comes here in about a month and a half or so. Uh, what is your goals for between now and Tropical Aggression?
If I'm still in the top 25, if the Golden Dragon is still in the top 25, I'm still going to challenge for the Platinum Dragon Champion again. Call out. When is the next official top 25 rankings?
When the next official?
Yeah.
Probably in 2 weeks. Probably in 2 weeks. I usually get it out 2 weeks after the pay per view. So uh, hopefully it will be the next top 25 will be finalized two weekends from now.
Am I still allowed to do my call out within that time frame of the 2 weeks?
Yes, actually, because until the official comes out, you are still in. Yeah, you can actually.
All right. So expect a call out maybe next week from me for the Platinum Dragon Champion. I know it's a long shot again, but again, I'm
Well,
positive.
of course, that
I'm
match.
assuming we have a winner.
If we have to have a winner first before you be able to call them out. If it, but I mean, I don't see, if I don't see Hotshot Chaz backing down from a challenge if he wins the Platinum Dragon Championship from you. I don't quote me on that, but we already know DW is probably not going to take your challenge because she's already turned you down once.
And she'll probably try to figure out how you were challenging her as an insult.
That's a her problem, not mine.
I agree. 100%.
As
All
everyone
right,
pointed out, I was all respectful, and then she gave me a 20-40 minute monologue about how great she is, how disrespectful it is, yada yada yada. A simple no would have sufficed. So because of that, I'm gonna annoy her until
A
I'm
simple
gonna
no.
annoy her
That
till
was beautiful.
challenging.
hey, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. All right. Well, Kenta, with that being said, um, we'll see you, hopefully, talk to you next week or a week after when the rankings come out. Or maybe you get an answer to that challenge. We find out here in the coming weeks. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Lord Amadeus, El Vicante. Have a golden day to both of you. I'm off to vacation.
All right. That is Kenta, the Golden Dragon. And, I have to say, I think Kenta is definitely going to be a champion here sooner or
I
later.
like,
What's that?
I like him.
Yeah, I must say, his first run in RAWF, talked to him a couple times, and he seemed like a good guy then. Was kind of sad when he left, but now that he's back, he's definitely an asset to RAWF. So I hopefully Kenta will stick around for a long, long time this time. All right, let's get real quick. I think we've got Ken Costa back. Ken, are you there? Okay, cool. So, all right, I hear you. We'll try it again. So, as I one of you were saying that you had to revert to an older version of yourself because the competition here in RAWF is tougher and is not going to give you uh, going to be nice back to you. So, I mean, that's basically what I heard, right?
I mean, I think that's reasonable. I mean, no one's going to look out for your interest in this business other than you, and so you got to do it.
Yeah, sure. But I can put one man as
At any rate,
Me, my bad.
go ahead. All right. Well, talk.
I'm I'm extremely nice. I don't know what you're talking about.
I always thought I was nice, but at any rate, Ken, I admire the attitude. You're right. You can't be Mr. Nice Guy here in RAWF. You got to go for what you get. You got to reach deep down and do what you have to do to win. So, with that being said, I'm going to wish you good luck in your matches tonight. I hate to cut you short, but we do have a couple more callers before we call it an evening. Bye bye. Ken Costa, ladies and gentlemen, defending the Midnight Hobo Championship against Cara DeVille and is also in a barbed wire match with Mark Caliber. Should be both very good matches. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, she is one half of the challengers to the Tag Team Championship tonight, the Godslayers. She is the one and only.
In the town where the shadows breathe, there's a name you won't ever speak. Molly Malone, she walked alone, her footsteps echo cold as stone. They said she cursed the midnight air with a heart too broken to repair. A wrong soul left in the dust, now they whisper that's what she gets for trust. She was the ghost they couldn't save, a restless heart, a silent grave. Every word was a fleeting dream, every prayer a twisted scream.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the first class lass herself, the lovely Maeve O'Hare. Good evening, Maeve.
Good evening, Bossman. Good evening, Vacant.
Oh, hi.
So I saw that Kentilad had a question. It's a long story, but there's a song about Molly Malone, who was a fishmonger in Dublin. But one of my finishers is called The Curse of Molly Malone, which is also the name of my theme song. But it's also a long, convoluted inside joke I'll tell you later. So that's, I suppose, kind of an answer to who Molly Malone is. How are you keeping, Bossman?
I'm wonderful. Philadelphia Freedom. It's a celebration, and did you enjoy the fireworks the other night?
I enjoyed the fireworks themselves. I didn't enjoy the crowd so much.
Yeah.
Were they
Well,
trying to climb light poles again?
They, it. I don't even want to blame the crowds, but it's my understanding that there's a garbage strike right now,
Oh, yes.
and so it's a little close and smelly right now.
Little ripe.
tiny bit. It's a bad time of year for that to happen because it's awful hot. It's so hot.
I mean, that's why I watched the fireworks from a boat.
Why didn't you invite me to a boat? I would have liked to be
I
on a
did.
boat.
You didn't reply. Check your messages more often.
Are you sure you texted the right number?
I mean, I don't have that many people in my phone listed as hot redhead.
Yes, you do.
I said that many. I didn't say only one.
I bet you there's at least half a dozen.
There's like 4. Now, if you count like the ones that are like crazy hot redhead, then there's like 37. But
I think this says more about your friends than anything else. What about yourself, Bossman? Did you enjoy the fireworks?
I did. I always enjoy Philadelphia at this time of year, at this particular weekend. So that's why Philadelphia Freedom's always this week. So yes,
I mean, it wouldn't
absolutely.
make much sense to have the show somewhere other than Philadelphia when it's called Philadelphia Freedom.
Yeah, you're right. And you know, Albuquerque Freedom just doesn't have the same ring to it.
Why on earth would you take us to Albuquerque? You know that their mailboxes melt this time of year.
and you lose the alliteration. Maybe Phillipsburg Freedom,
No, that doesn't work either.
Murfreesboro Freedom.
Fredericksville.
Fresno Freedom? No. Anyways, but what we're really here to talk with you about tonight is the big tag team title match. You and the Immortal Griffith, the Godslayers, challenging Crown Control. All of the betting odds are on you and Griffith, rightfully so. So, any final thoughts on going after the tag team titles tonight? I know this is something you two have been building toward all season.
I mean, we set out and we said, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. We're going to go after the tag belts. We're going to get them back. We have done everything else that we've set out to do. There's only one step between us and completing that goal. And unfortunately for them, there's 2 very unimpressive so-called champions holding our belts right now, who have never beaten the Godslayers. And so I just... these things run on statistics and history, and when you've lost that many times in a row to the same team, it don't look good for you to suddenly come roaring back. Both of them have other matches. I wish them all the luck in the world in those matches. But yeah, the Immortal Griffith and I, English, and I have already made plans for how we're going to celebrate. We've got a whole victory tour planned. It's going to be fantastic.
Interesting. And with that being said, that means that if you do win the titles, the first time you defend them will be at Tropical Aggression in Hawaii. And I mean, as I've heard, you're not going to be totally covered up.
Well, no, I'm not going to be totally covered up because we're not going to Saudi Arabia.
She's not fighting in a burqa.
It's not practical. If you have too many loose things, then they all get caught up and like you get tangled and you fall on your face, and it's not fun. I wouldn't recommend it.
All right. So, with that being said, good luck to the Godslayers tonight against Crown Control. And well, El Vacant, anything you'd like to ask me before?
I mean, nothing appropriate.
This is a family show.
Well, yes and no. But
Hey, how do you think families are made?
Not with me, that's for sure.
Ouch.
That don't go for that. Doesn't just go for Vacant. That's not me slagging off on Vacant. That is me saying I am absolutely
shut down in a blaze of glory.
That is me saying I am absolutely positively not interested in having a child right now.
I went down, down, down. The flames went higher.
Well, if nothing else, at least I got to hear Vacant sing.
All right. Well, I hate to cut this short, but we are kind of running low on time. Still got one more caller. So, Maeve, unless you have some final thoughts on tonight's Philadelphia Freedom paper. Oh, I do one more question because
Yes.
where was you in the rankings last night? You were number
I
5,
were number 5.
and a big win over Alley Knight. Who knows what can happen? Although there are some heavy hitters ahead of you. So,
I was going to say,
uh,
I'm pretty sure that the person who's in number 1 has like 817 points right now.
mm,
So I'm not, as much as I would love to be the person who dislodges that particular individual from a spot they don't really deserve, um, I'm not holding my breath. Many things, and one of them is practical. But I'm still excited to be as far up as I am. And I did want to invite both yourself and Vacant to join me in playing a round of Bad Soap Opera Bingo.
I'm sorry, okay?
Bad Soap Opera Bingo. I've made up bingo cards. And what
huh.
happens is you take your card and then you listen, and as you hear and see what folks are up to, you mark off the spots on your card, and then if you get bingo, you win a prize.
Wait, do I actually have to sit down and watch soap operas to play this?
No, I think
Have you
it's
have
this
you
show.
have you seen and heard the folks that we work with?
Ah.
So what you're trying to say is when someone shows up and has to fight their evil twin, that's bingo. Like,
I feel like if that actually happened, then you would just automatically win. Like, that's like 18 terrible tropes in one.
El Vacant, the thought of you having an evil twin is not.
No, El Vacant's got facial hair, so he's already the evil twin.
she's got a point.
Mm.
That means you might have an evil twin, boss man.
He does.
I
We've
do.
met.
That's not
we meet him every
a
year.
twin. That's being possessed. That's different.
Well, I suppose
But
that's
no,
true.
so, no, things on the card are things like telescoping of time. It's hard to tell how long something's been going on. Did this happen yesterday? Did this happen 2 years ago? Who knows? Oversimplification. You're scraping off all the details and making it make no sense. Convoluted relationships, disjointed storylines, getting too many people involved in one story, those sorts of things. So, for anyone who wants a card, I will be making a scene. You are welcome to join in. And I think I'll make the prize a gift card to Vacant's Taco Trucks. So, I'll have to buy one of those from you.
That does remind me. I was going to ask if you'd gotten. I know you were excited about the empanadas. Have you had a chance to have any?
I've had more than my fair share of empanadas. They are delicious.
All right, good. I know because I know you like them, and I want to make sure. I just need to make sure.
I have made sure that I have had plenty of empanadas, and I'm gonna have some more before the end of the night, I'm sure.
All right. With all of that being said, if you want to join Maeve in some bad soap opera bingo, keep an eye out for her scene. And good luck to you. And you know what? Just stick around, Maeve, because we might as well bring in your tag team partner since we're still talking about that tag team match. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your reigning Fubar City champion. Already has a victory under his belt tonight over Kenta in their strong style match. And of course, Maeve's tag team partner as they go for the tag team titles. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
Yoo-hoo! I'll make you famous.
The shadow of the moonlight, a figure stands alone, a warrior born. Through the ages, through the pain, his name etched in blood, forever torn. The Lion of London, roars in the night. No mercy, no weakness, no end in sight. The inevitable rise, the tempest unleashed. Who shall fall when the Kraken's released? Through fire and blood, his hands are stained. He stands alone, with none to restrain. Unstoppable force, a wrath untamed. No kingdom or god can withstand his name. Griffins are beyond the immortal one. Eternal champion, his war's never done. Hunter of monsters, a faction of one. In a world that's broken, he stands with none. of violence, his name never fades. He fights through the ages, his will never sways.
I am immortal.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the immortal Griffith back to Philadelphia one more time. Good evening, Griffith.
Good evening, L.A. L Vacant, L.A. L Vacant. That's I never noticed that before. And of course, the lovely Irish.
Well, make yourself comfortable.
I mean,
I'd
would, but
offer
you're
you,
already
I'd
on
offer
his
you
knee.
my seat, but I don't think you'd like it very much.
At
I
any
mean,
rate,
we never know. He never offers it to me.
why, and you would accept it if he did?
I know, but still, it would be nice to ask.
I ain't offering you mine, so don't even go there. But at any rate, we were just speaking with Maeve about the big tag team title match, and what are your final thoughts on the matchup with Crown Control tonight?
Uh, I would like to parrot what my erstwhile partner here has to say, but I feel like I'm not going to overlook them quite as strongly. She's correct when she says they've never beaten us anywhere we've ever faced them. She is correct in history repeats itself and all that, but they are the RAWF Tag Team Champions. They have, as I'm pretty sure, have retained them. It's not like they just won them. Did they? No, they've retained, right?
Checking.
Or did they win them last month?
Checking. I think checking. I believe they won them last month, but let me double check. Yes, they won them last month.
Oh, well, then never mind. Never mind. I was going to give them kudos they didn't deserve.
Yes, this is their first title defense.
Oh, well, okay. So apparently, sometimes you need a good transitional champion to get to the next big thing. Apparently, they will go down in history relegated to that role, and hey, good for them. It's many people in this industry consider it an honor to be just a footnote in the record books that is my career, and they should feel the same.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Was that ego? Was that too?
I think my response here is supposed to be vain creature.
Thank you. I was getting ready to say it for you. You were taking too long.
I didn't want to interrupt him. He was in the middle of a thought.
I don't have a lot of them, so if I have one, she doesn't like to interrupt.
All right. Moving on, earlier this evening, a victory over Kenta in their strong style match. Talk to me about the match, and did Kenta show you anything tonight?
Well, first of all, before we talk about that, let's talk about this picture that you have of me right now. That may be one of the best pictures of me ever. I mean, just look at me. I just look like the guy who's going to kick your ass. Like that is a great picture of me.
I'm glad you like it.
Okay, see, now is when you're supposed to say vain creature.
Now the moment's passed. You ruined it.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been known to do that. But yes, look, one of the opening matches of the night, I had an exhibition fight with Kenta, Strong Style Rules. It was a hell of a match. I actually, I got to give the man all the credit in the world. I gave him credit for calling me out the way he did. He did it the right way. And I said before the match, and I stand by it now, win, lose, or draw, it was going to do wonders for him. And I think he showed everybody who watched that match that he is no slouch. He is someone to be, to take seriously. Absolutely, there were moments where if I had been a split second slower, it could have been over. I have felt now what it feels like when he punches or kicks or elbows you in the head. For the record, it hurts. So yeah. But here's the thing. I will point out when Kenta was talking about this earlier, he said like something. He had control at the beginning of the match, and then something sort of changed. Well, he's right. He did. Out of the gate, he was tuning me up out of the gate. I couldn't quite get it, but then I can tell you what changed. I saw my own blood. He hit me in the mouth, knocked me down, and when I got up and kind of just that reflexive kind of back of the hand across the mouth. I looked down and there was blood, and yeah,
He doesn't
that
like it
shingle.
when he has to bleed his own blood.
No, no. Well, I mean, I do and I don't. I shouldn't happen, but I kind of like it when it happens because it means I'm in a real fight, and it wakes me up a little bit. You know what I mean? And from that point forward, I started to take control of that match and started doing more and more damage. But I will say this: I hit Kenta with not one, not two, but three fists of the immortal, and he got up every time. He got up. This is a tough, tough man. It took a concussion protocol to put him down for the count, and that's a move nobody's ever gotten up from. So, yeah. So Kenta, good match. Much respect, sir.
All right, and then of course the match you have yet to compete in, well, other than the tag team title match, is the Fubar City Championship against the Teflon Sheik.
See, you say that like it'll be a competition.
Well, I'm supposed to do that,
I guess you do have to hype your show.
It's kind of a thing,
Yeah.
But then again, I've also said, as well as El Vacant, we do not expect Sheik to walk away with the Fubar City Championship. So, any final words for the Teflon Sheik? I'm sure he will listen to this eventually, if he's not
Why
already.
would I have any for him now? I haven't had any for him before now.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, this.
I believe I've said everything I need to say on the matter.
I hope you aren't dismissing him too hard, though, because
I don't ever dismiss a fight. I'm absolutely dismissing him.
all right, fair
That's
enough.
not the same thing.
That's fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, Fubar City Championship tonight in Philadelphia. Freedom, Teflon Sheik. You, you're not going to lose this, are you? This ain't going to happen because you know what happens if you
I
were
mean,
to.
anything can happen on any given Sunday, right? Like we know what this industry is. Things happen. I've lost other belts to people who you would think would never win in a million years. So I guess lightning could strike, but he shouldn't hold his breath.
All right, fair enough. El Vacant, anything to ask the Immortal Griffith?
No, I'm good.
Anything to ask Maeve?
Nope, she's already sitting on my knee. I'm good. I don't feel like anything I would ask from here, I'm not going to ask with him standing right there.
Anything you'd like to ask me?
Yeah. So one of my nephews was wondering exactly what conditioner you use because he's trying to get his hair kind of more flowy like yours, and he's not having much luck.
A special herb of berries and other special
So
ingredients.
not something he can just go out and get.
No. All right. At any rate, I think that's about it for this evening, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Philadelphia Freedom, the 12th annual. It's been 12 of them. The 12th annual Philadelphia Freedom. I didn't have time to prepare a history on Philadelphia Freedom, but
Slacker.
Excuse me?
What?
Pardon?
I don't know. Okay.
Let's see. I can, of course, I mean, every single one of them has been in Philadelphia. Duh. Shocker. The very first one.
Hey, at least, and I will point out, when we say it's in Philadelphia, it's actually in Philadelphia, not Camden.
Yeah.
You know what I love about this town? Just a side note, real fast. We're out there, we're talking to the local fans, things, and we're talking about, it's, it's at this arena, blah, blah, blah. And without fail, they all correct you and say, oh, you mean the FU Center? Without fail. I love this town.
It is a great town. Philadelphia has some of the best fans, although some people would say the opposite. But they are very great. They are great sports fans, great wrestling fans. This is actually a very historic city for not just America's sake, but for wrestling's sake as well.
Absolutely. One of the biggest indie companies in the world based themselves out of Philly.
Yeah, some of the biggest matches in wrestling history happened right here in Philadelphia. So it's a great town, and we're always happy to come back here for the 4th of July at Philadelphia Freedom, as we I'm sure will again next year. Well, I mean, unless we decide to go to Fresno.
Fresno Freedom. I mean, it works. It kind of
And then
scans.
Fresno, Frankfurt.
Oh,
Yeah.
you do an overseas one? Yeah, Frankfurt. Yeah.
No. At any rate. With that being said, folks, I'd like to thank you for joining us this evening. And good for those of you listening that are in matches at Philadelphia Freedom. Good luck to you all. We should be back here next week, where the After Hours Championship should be on the line. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Who will show up and try to get an opportunity at the After Hours Championship live here next week?
I'm just saying, I'm always here.
Yes, you are. Well, no, you're not always here.
That's fair. I'm not always here. I'm often here.
You're often here. By the way, you know where we're going to be next week?
No.
I believe Maeve's home away from home in Toledo, Ohio. It's one of your favorite little towns, isn't it, Maeve?
I mean, I like it there. I wouldn't call it my home away from home, but
I thought that was Chicago.
Chicago's my home away from home.
Right. That's why I said
So
Toledo.
I suppose Bossman's saying that Toledo's my home away from home when I'm not in Chicago.
Something like that. At any rate,
I will say, Bossman, if you like a good hot dog, there's plenty of hot dog places in Toledo.
I'm looking forward to it. Always looking forward to a good hot dog. All right. So
I'm horrified.
with that being said, thank you everyone for joining us this evening. This has been RAWF After Hours on the RAW. Or sorry, no, it hasn't. It's been RAWF Philadelphia Freedom on the RAWF Radio Network. Good night, everybody.
Hasta la bye bye.